Hey guys, it's Tech Rain here. In today's video, we're doing another PC case review. And today we got ourselves a new PC case from Okinos, which is a new Cypress 3 wood PC case. This is another wood themed PC case, which honestly, wood themed cases I think are cool. They're not the fanciest thing in the world, but they kind of got a nice aesthetic to them. But what makes this case so interesting, it's $55. And it comes with four 120mm fans for its price point. So this could actually be a really good case for a budget build. So that's why I want to show you guys it here today. Let's get in the unboxing. So I just want to quickly say it. Okinos did send me this case out here today, but they did not pay me whatsoever, so I can have an honest review about it. I do have some things I want to point out, which I'm going to mention later here, but they did say they actually want to sponsor a PC build with it. So we're going to do a $500 PC build in this actual case. So if you don't want to miss out on that video, definitely get subscribed. Okay, we can actually get a good look at the case right here. So here's how the case looks like right out of the box. Honestly, looks pretty clean. It's very black, not much real wood aesthetic to it besides on the front here. The front has two wood pieces here which look really nice. There's some nice pieces to it. But we're gonna open this on up and see how this actually is. So if we want to open the actual PC case, all we have to do is take off these two thumb screws from the back. Now it looks like they are not gonna be really easy unless otherwise, because sometimes they'll have these thumb screws and you will need to unscrew them first with a Phillips screwdriver. And as you saw right there, I just dropped one, which is lovely, but that doesn't seem to be the case. So yeah, do not lose those. Actually, you know what? I think it's one of those ones, instead of pushing it out, you pull it from the back. Oh, it is. So you do the thumb screws right here. Then you pull from the back to pull it on out. Okay, so you can see so far the interior of the case. You can actually see it fits a micro ATX board, which is nice. You can actually see our rear fan right here. This is a 120mm for set to exhaust, and then we have another three 120mm in the front here that are set to intake. Now the big thing to keep in mind about this case, this does support up to a 285mm length GPU, but the other thing with it is if you flip the fans from the front of this grill to the actual inside here, it actually becomes up to 300 millimeters of length for your GPU. But if you do want to actually get access to these fans from the front, you just grab from the bottom, the lip right here, and when you grab that slip, just pull it and it unclips. This is very similar to like the Corsair cases and other cases we reviewed in the past that have a pinch and click design. So you can see our fans actually, and you can unscrew them from the front, which is so nice. That is actually such a small detail that most people don't appreciate, because what happens is a lot of case companies will have the screws on the backside, so you have to go in a weird spot just to unscrew the rear bottom fan right here. So I'm glad that's actually not the case with this case. Something I will recommend doing with this actual PC case is I would recommend uninstalling your fans from the actual front here and then moving them from the inside of the case to the outside of the case, so that you get some extra GPU length. So we take a look at just installing different GPUs here, for example, for the time being. The first GPU I have is a single fan 2060 that you can install on the side of this case. So you can see we fit this inside the case. It easily fits on in here, which is no issue. And the problem is when you try to install something inside of the case that's like a bigger card. So I have this actual gaming card from MSI, which is one of their trio cards. So if I was to actually install this, you can see it's going to be kind of awkward to fit it on in here. And then the problem what becomes is that the fans are quite literally in the way. Since those fans are in the way, I had to now uninstall them from the inside to the outside of the case. So you can see now I moved the fans from the inside of the case to the actual front side here. And now that we've done that, we have up to 300mm of length. So if we want to install that long card for our gaming card for a trio, we can now put it on in here and we can easily fit it on into our PC case, which is nice. I think they should move the fans when they do this and send it to you guys from the actual inside to the outside. So Okinos, definitely just put the case fans on the actual outside of the case, because it's a pain to actually install them here in the actual front. I know most customers won't really want to do that, so I would recommend you just do that, and that way you just take your front panel, put it back on top. The case fans still fit perfectly inside the case, so I don't know why it's not like that already. Now taking a closer look on the inside of this PC case, you can actually see there are no grommets on any of this routing ways for your cables. It's just pretty much just as bare bones as it can be, but it is very compact. Like, there is really not much room just besides your micro ATX board and maybe some other stuff. But we actually, you can see here our fan cable too, which is nice because they are daisy chained. If you want to get access to the back side of the PC case, same thing. There's two thumb screws on the back panel. You just want to carefully take them on off. And then same thing as the front, we pull it from the back with the slip, and it'll come undone. So you can just pull it back and pull it to the side and set it somewhere. When you get back here is your actual screws for your motherboard and for the case and all the accessories. You have some cables back here too. So here's how the back side of the PC case is. You can actually see the cables from the back. You can see your cables for your fans that are all daisy chained here. There's quite a bit going on. So we have our first daisy chain, which is this is to our front three 120mm fans. They're all daisy chained together, so you only have one 3-pin you need to plug into your motherboard for your case fan or system fan 1. Then on the back, there's another actual 3-pin for your rear fan for your exhaust. So you will need to actually have at least 2 system fans to get this all hooked up together. I was hoping it was gonna be one of those things where like they're all daisy chained together to the top here, so all 4 fans are connected, but unfortunately that's just not the case. For the front panel actual connectors, we have the following. You have a Type-C cable for your Type-C port. You have an HD audio cable, a USB 3 cable. So you have the restart LED switch light and then the power switch. And finally, you have your positive and negative power LEDs. And those are all your connections for the front side of the case. Now, on the bottom side of this case, we do have another mesh thing for your actual PSU, for the PSU fan for dust filter, which is pretty nice. It's just kind of a slip-in design. And then you actually have your screws back here for your hard drive cage holding into place because you have to screw them in manually. So what you'll need to do is unscrew these actual 6 screws at the bottom till you get out your hard drive case. So we'll do that for the time being just to show you guys, for example. You make sure to set them aside so you do not lose them and group them together too. So that way you know where they go. Once you have this all done, it's gonna probably just fall out. We now have access to pulling out our hard drive cage that we just did. So that's good. So you will need to do those 6 screws, it seems like, to get it uninstalled. What you will need to do is line up the screws on the bottom here with the screws on the bottom of the drive, which you can see the 6 screw mounts. You just want to line it up like so. Actually, I have it the wrong way. And you just line on up so that way you can screw it on down, which I have it lined up here. It's kind of in a weird spot. Luckily there's holes though for your screwdriver for the 4 screws you need to screw to get your driving bay. Off the top side of the PC case, you actually have access to a mesh for a magnetic, so that way you can have a little dust filter for the top here. Now for connectors, we have access to a few different things on the actual front side of our case. So we have a Type-C port right here. We have 2 USB 3 ports, 1 actual aux cable for 3.5. And I assume this is a reset switch right here, and then we have your power switch as well on the side. I think this is a really cool spot to actually have this stuff. So if you want to install the front of your PC case, you got to grab your front panel. Now keep in mind on the top there are some nubs here, some like actual slips. Same thing on the actual bottom. You actually want to line the bottom slips with the actual bottom holes and line it on down. Push it from the top, then slide it back in by pushing it forward. At that, it goes back in, and then you can take your thumb screws and screw them back on down. And once you've done that, you've reinstalled your front actual panel. Now, what you want to do to install your back panel is that there's nothing fancy on the actual sides at all. You just want to line up the bottom here with the actual back side of the case. So you just want to line it up like so. Make sure it lines in. Once you have a line in, you just push it to the side and it slips in. Then you can just add a little bit of force and grab your thumb screws and screw it back down. Now, if you do want to install a GPU, what you're going to have to do for the backside of this actual case is you're actually going to have to untighten this actual thing because you can't do it with your fingers. You will need to grab a Phillips screwdriver and just untighten this with your Phillips, lefty loosening, and then once it's loosened, you're just going to install your GPU by removing your back plates. Now, for the back plates of this actual case, it does seem as though they are one-time removable, meaning that once you remove them one time, you just have to wiggle it on out. They are permanently gone, so they are using those kind of back plates. So once you take this on out for your actual little thing for your GPU, so yeah, just make sure you take those, set them to the side somewhere, because you can just throw them away afterward, because once you remove it the first time, you won't be using it a second time. Same thing, you want to install your GPU, just take out another one for your 2-slot card, and then you'll be good to go. But unfortunate that they're doing this, but then again, that's what you get with a budget case. So let's go over my final thoughts on the Crisis, I don't know why I say Crisis for some reason, it's the game, and I'm thinking of the Cypress PC case. I don't know, those 2 words keep getting mixed together in my head. But let's go over my final thoughts about this $55 PC case. Do I think it's worth it? Do I think it's good for its price point? So I want to go over my first things, my uncertainties about this PC case. So it says it supports 2 120mm fans on the top, so meaning that 240 IO should be doable, but there's no way of confirming that. Same thing with a 360 IO in the front. I don't think it actually will work. So if you are looking to do any like cooling with your PC cases using liquid IOs, I don't think this is going to be the case for you. That's the first thing I want to quickly go out there. But if you do plan to air cool your PC case on a budget, with a budget build, which is a big thing a lot of people do, $55 for this case works perfectly for what you want to do, especially with the 4 fans that come with it. So I'll have great cooling with it for the time being. So I like that part about it. Just the IO thing is definitely slacking on any support whatsoever. Maybe it's doable, but I'm not entirely sure if that's actually the case with this thing. Now, the build quality isn't particularly the craziest in the world. It is using some stronger metal than some of the Monolitech cases I've tested in the past, but the aesthetics of this actual theme case is nice. Now, would I recommend it for PC builders out there and for people who are looking to build a budget case? I would say yes. If you are looking for something in the wood theme build and it's in your price point, $50 to $55 for a PC case, and you don't want any RGB, because I know some people who do not want RGBs in their builds because when they go to bed, they don't want to have to turn off the PC case, because some people don't even turn them off. They don't want to have to like disable the RGB after they get their new system. So I feel like this has all the bells and whistles somebody who's looking for a nice budget build, no RGB, black theme with some nice aesthetics is looking for. But yeah, that's my honest thoughts about the Cypress Wood 3 PC case. If you guys enjoyed my review video here today, make sure to smash the like button and get subscribed, because later here we will be doing a PC build in it. So if you don't want to miss out on that video, definitely get subscribed. And I'll see you for 101. Tech Rant out.